quarter. We came out of the first quarter 7-6. Northland on top. Scoring consisted of Dwayne Gray, 28-yard TD run. And for the Raiders of Hillsboro, on a outstanding trick play, it was a flat to the pass.
A flat to the pass, okay.
Flat to the pass. A pass to the flat. And then a pitch out to Ken Nixon, who rambled 71 yards to put the Raiders on the board with 6. The PAT failed. In the second quarter, North Hunterdon jumps up to 21 points. 2 TDs by Grade, 128, or check that, 116-yard run and 1 1-yard run. And for the Raiders, Pete Tardy takes a 70-yard pass and moves it in from Blandino for the a 2-point conversion on a pass to Flanagan to give the Raiders 14 points. So 21-14 is where we stand, Michael.
Okay, as we look at the Hillsboro Raiders on the side, there you see quarterback Dominic Blandino, who's done, I feel, an outstanding job in his passing. He has had some really pinpoint passing, done a good job. The story for North Hunterdon, they are a bigger team. They've been kind of handling Hillsboro at the line a bit. Dwayne Gray, 3 touchdown runs, very effective in a sweep on the side. Hendershot not really throwing the ball, staying with these short passes, going to the flats. It's been a game of the long pass against the short pass. We haven't seen much of the Hillsboro running game. I can't really think of too many carries from Hillsboro. They do have some good backs in Scott Huff and Gary Ugello. I think they're going to have to mix it up a little bit better. You know, you can just run trick plays for so long during the course of a contest, as the Lions are now out on the field. There you see some of the people on the sidelines here for this good afternoon of football. Speaking about it, during halftime while we were away, I saw a couple of Hillsboro graduates milling around in the crowd. Jeff Olivo, an outstanding punter and defensive back for the Raiders. I believe he's at Richmond. He was here. Steve Ugetta, last year's quarterback, now at Massachusetts. He was around. Of course, on the other side, North Hunterdon's outstanding quarterback last year, Bart Kaler, down at Duke. He's not here today. Duke kind of knocked around by Rutgers in the mud, 7-zip last week. He's playing baseball down at Duke. Okay, Bob, I'm out.
I'll tell you, I'm tired from listening to you, Michael. We did want to mention one thing. We want to wish the very best to Brian Wartell from Somerville. In last night's Franklin-Somerville game in the first half, Wartell took a real shot, was taken off the field and taken to Somerset Hospital with a shoulder injury. We want to wish Brian the best, a quick recovery, and look forward to seeing that fine, outstanding wideout for Somerville back on the field.
Okay, as the captains will go out in the field, 82 Tardy and Garrett Herbst for Hillsboro. For the Lions of North Hunterdon, 45 is Grade and 60 is Gromlowitz, their outstanding linemen. The co-captains will meet. Hillsboro should get the ball to start the second half of action. What do you expect Hillsboro to do, Bob?
Well, I expect them to receive the ball, Michael, and then try to advance it to the other team's end zone.
Brilliant. Now I know why. You announce and you don't coach.
No problem. What they got to do, Mike, is get a ground game going. We talked about this at the half. Hillsboro has been throwing the ball with tremendous regularity, and it's a real boon to the defense for Lions because they begin to key on the pass routes, and they really don't have to be too concerned about the run. Hillsboro's got to mix it up because if they don't, the Lions are going to cheat on D all day long for the second half. On the other hand, the Lions just have to keep doing what they're doing on offense. No complaints there. Their defense, though, in the secondary, they show that they're a little vulnerable. Tardy's been open quite a few times. We had Scott Huff throwing a pass that almost, if it had been thrown a little bit further, could have been 6 more points. So the Lions do look a little susceptible to the pass, even though they're keying on the pass, because as we said, Hillsboro hasn't run the ball very much. So that about sums up what they've got to do in the second half, and we'll give it right back to Mr. Pulowski.
Okay, as the teams come out on the field for the kickoff, going back deep for the Hillsboro Raiders is number 24, and that's John Flanagan, along with number 22, Chris Nebel. Usually we see Pete Tardy back there. I'm a little concerned that we don't see him back there, wondering if he's had some kind of injury.
Tardy's on the sideline, hands on hip. He looks fine to me and ready to go.
Okay, Kugelman will kick off. Kugelman, a good kicker. 21-14 the score. The whistle. Second half action in the sunshine underway with this booming kick, which goes down to Flanagan at the goal line. Flanagan at the 10, cuts to the 15. He's at the 20, tries to hurdle one tackler, brought down at the 22 by number 25.
Mike Donnelly.
Donnelly, a busy man for the Lions on special teams, carried the ball quite a bit in that first half.
Donnelly plays a key role at both the offense and defense for the Lions. He's an all-around outstanding player.
Blandino checks in. We'll run down the offense for Hillsboro when we can. Ugello Huff the setbacks as Blandino calls signals. Tardy in motion, slow motion left. He looks for Tardy on the out. Has his man. Tardy gets to close to the first down.
We have a flag on the play, and we'll wait to see what the officials determine here.
Where the flag is at the line of scrimmage, it looks like it's probably going to be a hold against Hillsboro. On the sidelines, Fred Kuiper. They're going to call it an illegal block. Not a good start. As a matter of fact, Hillsboro had a relatively, on offense, penalty-free first half. On defense, they jumped off several times. I think this is their first offensive penalty.
I can't tell you if you're right or wrong, Mike. You're right about they've jumped the gun a couple times on D. But this one's going to cost them a bit. It's a 10-yarder. It's going to put the ball back about the 11-yard line, I presume.
Well, we talked about the Hillsboro running game. I would think, I'm not so sure whether Joe would want to put the ball up here with the score 21-14.
Well, they've had a lot of success with those flat passes, but you don't want to be thrown to the flat this close to your own end zone. They may try to throw some direction to one side and screen the other. Or Joe might just decide, hey, let's gut it out, get as much as we can on the ground and kick it.
Checking in 72, Al Sarasivic. Sederoth is the other tackle. 82 in the slot is Tardy. 24 Flanagan. Tardy goes in motion. Blandino will throw. He looks to the sideline. Then Flanagan on an up pattern. Flanagan, great, great catch. Can't hold on to it. Knocked away there by number 40, Eric Winicki.
Flanagan made an outstanding move to go over Winicki and bring the ball in. I'm not sure that Winicki knocked it away or if the ground, when he hit the ground, the ball bounced out. But regardless, it's an incomplete pass on a well-thrown ball by Blandino.
Close but no cigar. Nicely thrown pass by Blandino. He's shown us quite a bit with his arm. Checking in 65 for Hillsboro. Things slowly developing here. I'm kind of nodding off. 65, Jeff Savar checking in.
Raiders looking at a second and mucho. About 21 yards, 20 yards.
Went for it all on that. Let's see what happens this time. Blandino looks towards his left where Flanagan is. He looks that way again. Has Flanagan over the middle, almost picked off. That would have been 6.
Flanagan had an awful lot of company in there. 24 for the Lions, breaking up the pass play. Herb Vickery, and we pointed out Vickery dangerous on those punt returns, but showing he can play the secondary also.
224s matching up there, brings up a third down, and like you say, a mucho country mile. Hillsboro deep in their own territory. They are down 21-14.
Let's set the secondary for the Lions while we have a moment. We have Winicki out there. 25 is Donnelly. 26 Valentino. Motley 46.
Okay, offense at the line. Blandino in charge. Rolls. Has time. Looks. Has his man knocked away. Good hit there by number 40.
Winicki on the stick, and boy, it was a nice one. Just broke that play up quite nicely. Bring up the 4th down. Raiders kicking from deep in their own territory with 10:41. And
to set the scene a little bit better, North Hunterdon went for the block on the punt earlier, got a piece of the ball. Let's see what happens here. You know, well, of course, they'll have great position if they go for the return.
Well, Grade was in on that PAT, and he's also in now. He's on the right side of the defensive line for the Lions, looking for the angle. Donnelly back deep to receive.
And they're going for it. Tardy has it partially blocked again. Poor kick.
29.
He'll be spotted at the 29-yard line. Great field position.
My mistake, it was Vickery, 24, who was back there, but what difference does it make? The ball never got to him anyway.
Well, I think we're seeing a case here of North just utilizing its size against the smaller Hillsboro linemen.
Well, that's true, Mike, and you're right. Fatigue's going to play a big role for Hillsboro because they are a little undermanned as far as size, and they've got to be a little more quicker, and it's going to take its toll as the game moves along. Well,
quickness can't help you on that punt. You got to really hold those guys out. As Grade comes, and he's swarmed under. Very good defense. He's held to a loss. Drops maybe 4 yards. Hit there by Flanagan with help by 32, Kevin Day.
Flanagan making a nice stick on that play. Came up, read it very well, stayed right with the play, and and actually ended up with Lions taking about a 3-yard loss, which has been an unusual event for the Lions all day.
We talked about the Lions while we were off camera, running to that left side and getting good yardage. That time, the first time they tried the second half, shut down for a loss of about 3. With 9:58 to go, we have a timeout on the field by the officials. Let's take a short break.
The official timeout for
The Flemington National Bank and Trust Company has been making banking easier since 1876 and features very competitive mortgage rates, no fees on its Powerhouse home equity line of credit if applied for by November 30th, 1987, savings of up to 70% on stock purchases through its discount brokerage office, and the Cirrus Network with access to 25,000 teller machines worldwide. We have locations in Sergeantsville, Ringo's, ShopRite, Three Bridges, Flemington Circle, and Main Street, Flemington. Let us show you how we can make banking easier.
Okay, we're back here to live action. As you take a look at the Lion huddle, went for a pass with second down, knocked down. Good defensive effort by Pete Tardy of Hillsboro to knock the pass down. Brings up a third down and about 14. Hendershot. Hands off inside. Nailed. Good defensive again. Donnelly, the ball carrier.
Donnelly on a counter. Flow was to the left. Grade. Hendershot moving left. Donnelly on the inside counter. Absolutely no room as the center of the Raiders line just put a stop to that one. Fourth down and about 14. Mr. Kugelman on the field, and I suspect we'll see Mr. Kugelman try for a three-pointer. I don't suspect we'll see a fake.
On that tackle, Drew Krasirik. Kugelman to kick, snap down, a line drive, and it's good.
Outstanding kick by Kugelman. The ball was set on about the 37-yard line. Give 10 more for the end zone. Correct me if I'm wrong, Michael, but that's a 47-yard field.
Looks like about a 47-yarder.
And there was no doubt that he had the power to get it in there. Not a pretty one. It was a sailor, but it sailed right through the uprights.
Kugelman adds 3. That makes the score 21-14. Lions now boost their bulge to 10, and that's going to be tough.
Boost their bulge. Boy, I'll tell you.
Talking of bulges here.
Well, we said a lot of nice things about Joey Kugelman over the past couple of years, and he's an outstanding kicker. That wasn't a pretty one, but he sure fired it through the uprights. A lot of power in that leg.
As he tees it up to kick off, and quite frankly, Hillsboro's going to have to mount a drive here and possess the ball and eat up some time on the clock and come up with a score. Deep is Flanagan. He'll field the ball at about the 9, goes to the sidelines, looks for some running room. Oh, good defensive effort there by number 52, Jim Wilton.
Jimmy Wilton, outstanding tackle on that kick return. And I'll tell you, if Wilton had made the play, there was some blocking set up downfield. Flanagan may have been able to pick up some extra yardage, but not to be, and it puts the Raiders at a 1st and 10 at their own, let's say 18-yard line. And this is a position they've been much accustomed to in the third quarter here. They have not gotten beyond their own 30. Correct me if I'm wrong, at least on the first series.
They haven't had good field position for a while,
No.
and they just missed connecting on a couple of passes. Could have changed the complexion of the game at this point. North, though, with their bigger line, starting to shut things down. They try to go to the run this time. Handoff inside. I think it's Yagello. Picks up maybe 4. Check it, it's 42. That's Scott Huff.
Number 42, Scott Huff.
And no surprise, Jimmy Wilton comes off the bottom of that pile.
Picks up about 3, brings up a 2nd down and 7. Hillsboro keeping to the air most of this game. Let's see what happens now. Blandino fakes, rolls, looks for his man, Tardy, and I'll tell you what, that was close to a push.
Oh, the Hillsboro people want to. Oh boy, I'll tell you, they are incensed on the Raiders sideline that no flag was thrown. The intended receiver just sandwiched between the Lions secondary back there. 2 or 3 players right on the play.
It was close. It was close.
Joe Polino speaking quite vociferously from the sideline to no one, obviously, but obviously expressing some displeasure on that lack of call.
3rd down, long. Blandino sacked.
62. Vince Corsentino in there to get a hold of Blandino. Blandino tried to spin move out of there, just couldn't. Strong lineman from the line pulls him down.
One-handed tackle brings up a 4th down, and again, North Hunterdon's going to have good field position. And again, they'll probably go for the ball. They've gone for the block twice and got their hands on it. 60 is Gromlowitz. 62, Corsentino. 52, Wilton.
In the end zone.
Oh, a snap. It's going to go out of the end zone. Things really going against the Raiders here.
Well, we've seen every type of scoring you virtually can have in high school football. That's a safety, that's 2 points. We've seen a field goal. We've seen touchdowns running, touchdowns passing. And it brings the score up to 26-14, 7-10 to go in the 3rd quarter, and things are looking bleak. We're going to take a break and be back with the rest of the action in just a moment.
The Flemington Mall on Route 202 has it all in 36 exciting stores. Stop in at Merle Norman, the place for the custom face. Sherman & Sons Jewelers has elegant and distinctive jewelry. Fashion Bug is one of the largest retail stores for women's clothing. Pickwick Village has Lenox China and Hallmark cards and motion ornaments. Samsies is a full-line men's store with today's fashions. Breyer's Ice Cream Parlor has all-natural Breyer's ice cream. Visit the Flemington Mall, just north of the Flemington Circle, because we have it all.
Okay, back to live action here at Hillsboro. We're going to stay with the action as Pete Tardy will take the free kick from the 20 after the safety. The snap over his head on the punt. Add 2 for North Hunterdon. It's 26-14, and they'll get the ball in good field position. The ball will take a bounce at about the 48. And it'll be Hillsboro's ball.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Just like a kickoff.
It sure is. It's a free ball once it's out there. The people from North Hunterdon obviously not familiar with that ruling, which is unfortunate for them because Hillsboro has the best field position they've had in a long time, and they only gave up 2 points to get it.
Big break for Hillsboro. Of course, on the free kick, it's just like a kickoff. You have to field the ball. Hillsboro Raiders get the ball. Good field position at about the 47-yard line. The Lions, and let's see what they can do. 1st and 10, Blandino looks over this time. 6:49 to go. 3rd period action at Hillsboro High School. Blandino to Yagello, looking to get on the corner. Glomowitz right after him, trips over his own feet, picks up maybe 2 yards.
Yellow tried to make a turn upfield, and I don't know that he got tangled up himself or if the field gave way. It's a little damp out there, but he tried to make a cut. Good pursuit by number 60 from the Lions. That's Gromlowitz, Jeff Gromlowitz. It'll bring up a 2nd down and a long 9 with 6:20 left in the 3rd quarter. 26-14, Lions on top.
A lot of field to the right. Let's see what happens. Blandino's been just missing with a lot of timing patterns to the sidelines as Flanagan is too wide right. In motion goes Tardy, as we've seen most of the day. Blandino looks to the wide side. Has his man Flanagan. He may go all the way. Flanagan, oh, saving tackle at the 9-yard, at about the 12-yard line by number 40, and that's Winicki.
Winicki made a great tackle. Flanagan looked back, caught the ball, started to make the turn towards the goal line, looked back, and that's when Winicki caught up to him. We're going to take a look at this one more time. The Blandino pass right on the money. Flanagan takes it in stride, but Winicki just gets him at the shoe tops, brings him down. This is going to be tough because Hillsboro hasn't moved the ball well on the ground. I mean, there's no 2 ways about that. They've got it at about the 14-yard line, and that's going to be tough territory in there. tough territory.
Well, they got the wide side of the field to the right there. I got a feeling we're going to see some action there. They've had great success with those out patterns.
It's going to be difficult for them to run the ball short side, so you're right, Michael. They're going to have to take advantage of the...
And they've got 4 downs. Let's see what happens here. Here we go. He rolls to the right. He looks for Tardy. Tardy in the corner, and yes! Oh, what a great catch.
Outstanding catch by Steve Tardy on the fingertips.
Pete Tardy.
Oh, God, Peter, I apologize. Got so excited there, we tried to make you a tackle. Outstanding. Pete Tardy with an incredible diving catch.
I'll tell you, and we have a ball game again. It's 26-20.
I just talked about how tough it would be to move the ball in that 14 yards area, and boy, they turned around and passed it right in there. Outstanding play.
As we look at the sidelines, the Hillsboro sidelines, very impressed with Blandino.
One more time, Blandino to Pete Tardy, and it's an outstanding catch. Little fan involvement there, but...
It's good! No.
Flanagan, number 24 for the Raiders, tried to call that one good. Unfortunately, he was coming out of the end zone when he made the catch. That was Scott Huff, the intended receiver.
As Pete Tardy threw the pass, he was leveled by Dwayne Grade, and Tardy seems to have a hurt hand. I'll tell you what, some good sportsmanship out there, good competition between these teams. Grade helps him up to see if he's okay.
Yeah, Grommel would stop in there to find out if he was all right too, Michael, and you're right. The outstanding sportsmanship. 5:30 in the third quarter, 26-20, and the game changes complexion one more time, and we're not going to take a break.
Tardy picks up his 5th touchdown catch of the year. Blandino notches his 5th TD toss.
Well, let's face it. The key in that play was the the ability for Hillsboro to recover their own free kick. Lions not apparently aware of the fact that they had to field the ball. They tried to avoid it, and the Raiders took quick advantage of that one.
Bob, this has been kind of a strange game. Not a lot of sustained drives, but lots of good action, lots of great individual work, some great catches. We've seen some good runs.
Well, the only thing we haven't seen in this game is an onside kick, Mike, because we've seen everything else that I can think of. As far as scoring and circumstances, there could be no more surprises left, I don't think.
5:30, Raiders down by 6, 26 for the Lions of North Hunterdon, 20 for the Raiders of Hillsboro. Tardy to kick, good high kick, coming down at about the 10 to Grade. Reverse. Valentino, he has room. Check it was Vickery, 24.
Started by number 24, Hillsboro.
And there is the ever-present penalty flag.
Flag on the play.
And we've seen a lot of that today.
Preliminary indications are against the Lions of Illegal blocking clipping.
That'll move the Lions back.
Yes, sirree. And I'll tell you, that Hillsboro sideline is getting fired up in the emotion of this game.
We've seen a lot of more trick plays in one game, I think, than I've seen perhaps in a whole year. And they've worked pretty much. I wouldn't be surprised to see that halfback pass come again for Hillsboro somewhere in this second half before the game's over.
Oh, I wouldn't either. They've got to get somebody downfield a little bit quicker, though, and get through that secondary.
At the Wizard Firehouse tonight at 8 p.m.
But it's been an exciting game. It's been in spurts. No two ways about that.
I would also expect maybe to see Grade on some kind of a screen. We haven't seen any kind of that play. They stuck with that short sideline pass.
Saw it once in the first half, and that was about the only time we saw it.
It went to a lineman, though. It was an illegal pass. Okay, handoff inside. Fumble! Scramble for the ball, and Hillsboro says they have it, but they do have it.
Oh, my. Hillsboro recovers a fumble at about the 15-yard line. Dave Patrick, boy, he's a happy young man. And I'll tell you what, this game has made an immediate change in direction, and the Raiders do have the momentum right now.
Hillsboro going through some tough breaks, coming through it, getting the ball back after a safety, 3 block punts. Well, and they have great field position now at about the 15. Right in the middle of the field. Let's see what they'll do with it. 4:43, 26-20 the score. Raiders down. Blandino looks. Flanagan in the corner. Off his fingertips.
John Flanagan, outstanding attempt to make that catch. Moving well to his left. Ball slightly overthrown. Flanagan goes out on a limb to try and catch it. Can't pull it in.
Tom Matthews, 33 back there covering. Flanagan had him. Good timing play.
It was, and it was a well-thrown ball, just off, timing just a little off.
Second down.
Tell you what, though, you got to give that Hillsboro offensive line credit. They're doing an outstanding blocking job.
Bill Sederoth, 72 checks in. Sarah Civic, Herbst, Dave Frank, Jeff Savar, Spinelli, Blandino again. This time to the middle.
Ooh.
It's intercepted by Grade. Grade brings the ball back to about the 20-yard line.
Dwayne Gray read that one all the way, just hung back, cut up across in front of the pass. Flanagan, the intended receiver. Blandino threw the ball right into coverage. Obviously didn't see Grade making the cut in from the right side of the secondary.
I call that as Grade 45. I believe there was him, but it could have been 46, Jeff Motley. Can't be sure, so we'll
I couldn't
give
pick
him
up the
credit.
number. I just took your word for it, Mike.
45 or 46, one of the two. So we gave them both credit.
Little confusion in the secondary right now for the Raiders. Are looking for some information from the sideline. Ready to go.
Hendershot at quarterback for the Lions. Quick pass to 25. 25, Donley. Pickup of 10.
Garrett Herbst on a stop for the Raiders. It looks like a first down to change the move. We've got 3:56 left to go in the third quarter in what has been a very interesting third quarter, to say the least.
Strange third period. Exchange of breaks. Had a fumble, an interception, a block punt, a safety, a recovered kickoff. We've had about everything in this third period. First down and 10, Lions at the 30. Hendershot to throw. Low shot has his man. Donley, 25, tackled immediately by number 40 of Hillsboro, Nixon.
Kenny Nixon on a stop, as Mike pointed out. Read that one very well. Pickup of about 405 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5. And the Raiders really have to once again create an opportunity, and they've been opportunists, no doubt about it, in this third period.
3:13 to go. Third period action from Hillsboro High School. 26-20 to score. Lions in front. Grade on the corner, has room, still on his feet, finally dragged down.
I would suspect that George Greiner would probably want to keep the ball on the ground, Mike. Really control some time, take some time off the clock. Obviously come out of it with no less than 3 points, because that puts the Raiders out of reach by a touch, even with a touch and a 2-point conversion.
Yep.
So I don't think we're going to see Hendershot going to the air, at least on anything deep right now.
He hasn't done that all game. They stuck
No.
with those short passes. Handoff inside, and that's Donnelly, and he's upset.
Flanagan made the final stop. 41, Patrick, and made the initial hit to knock Donnelly off balance. It'll bring up a second and a little bit more than 10. They lost about a foot on that play. And there's still 2:20 left to go in the third quarter.
What I'm wondering, Bob, is if we get to this fourth period with a close score, what tricks are we have? What's left?
Well, that's when we'll see the onside.
Okay, second down, about 11. Hendershot, quick pass, almost knocked down. Oh, good defense.
Outstanding read on the part of the Hillsboro Raiders, I believe. And Mike, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was 22 made the play on that. Chris Neville made the tackle.
Makes the tackle on Donnelly. What I'm wondering is if North is going to set up. They've been going to that quick, short pass, a pump fake, and let him go and see what happens.
Well, they need some big yardage here. Raiders, I presume, will be watching for Dwayne Grade on the short side of the field.
Long count again. Hendershot to pass, goes over the middle, tip, intercepted by Flanagan, 24, and he has some room. Flanagan returns it to about the 48.
Well, we said Hillsboro has been the opportunist in the second half, and once again, opportunity knocks. We have an injured player on the field. There'll be a timeout.
One of the North players down, can't see his number. Not sure, it may be. Okay, we'll take a break and come back after this.
Hi, I'm Howie, and this is Popeye. Say hi, Popeye. From Pets, Pets, Pets in Somerset. And we'd like to show you what Pets, Pets, Pets is all about. If it swims, or slithers, or flies, or is furry, or just plain unusual, you'll find it at Pets, Pets, Pets. So come on and see us at Pets, 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 2 JFK Boulevard, Somerset, or in the Chester Mall, Chester.
Licardi Motors, the largest retail Chrysler Plymouth dealer in America. Selection, low prices. Licardi has 2,500 Chryslers, Plymouths, Peugeots, van conversions, and used cars, with more arriving daily. Call for instant credit. Licardi Motors, the car giant, guarantees we'll beat any deal in the U.S. or you get the car free. Mention this station and get a free gift. Come to Licardi Motors, Route 22 West, Greenbrook, 752-7373.
Okay, we're back here at Hillsboro High School. Joe Polino, head coach of the Hillsboro Raiders, on the sideline. Very exciting game in spurts, kind of an interesting game. We've seen just about everything. The scoreboard tells the story, 26-20, as we have an injured North Hunterdon player down on the field. He's talking on the sideline. Polino is talking to Dominic Blandino, who's had an outstanding day passing.
Yeah, Blandino's just been wonderful, to say the least, with the
Wonderful?
passing. Wonderful. I'll say wonderful. What the heck? He has been outstanding, Michael. He's been on target, and the few missed passes that he's had have been just off the fingertips, really, really close. The only critical comment you might have is that he threw right into the secondary on that interception that cost Hillsboro a shot at a catch-up touchdown. But hey, that's easy to be critical. Well, you got to look at the positive things, and he's thrown some outstanding strikes to Tardy and to Flanagan.
Meanwhile, on the field, Jeff Gromlowitz, the co-captain of the North Hunterdon Lions, down with an injury, walks off, so hopefully nothing serious. An outstanding ball player, Gromlowitz, of course, a sports family out in North Hunterdon.
Oh, yeah.
Gromlowitz, Beth Gromlowitz, a great basketball player out there.
And we still have some time out here as we see Joe Paulino heading out to the offensive huddle.
Well, we're in the third period. As I said, 26-20 to score, 1:13 to go in the third. A whole period of action ahead. Joe wants to talk to his troops. They have good field position here. They'd like to punch one in at this time.
It could be critical, no doubt about it. I mean, they've got to get, if they can get 7 up, you know, we talked about the Kugelman factor. It sounds like a science fiction movie. But Kugelman could be the difference as we get down to the end of the fourth quarter here with that strong, strong leg he has.
Pete Tardy has, in the meantime, comes to the sidelines. He hurt his hand before. We mentioned that he's walking over to the trainer. He would be a big loss. Coming in for Tardy is number 81, Keith Golden.
Well, we still have some time out. Let's take a look at the schedule ahead, Mike. The Raiders go on the road on the 17th of October. They play at Voorhees. That's a night game up at Glen Gardner. Check that. The Lions, on the other hand, we're trying to track down their schedule here for a moment, play Watchung at 7:30 at night. That's up at North Hunterdon.
As we look at Bill Stout, our cameraman, now we're back to live action. The Hillsboro Raiders with a first down at about the 48th. Blandino and a quick whistle. I'm confused on that one unless somebody jumped.
It's got to be encroachment because it sure couldn't have been delay a game.
No, too quick. See what the call. They're talking to Hillsboro. Garrett Herbst, the co-captain.
That's what it is.
Lined up offsides.
Offsides, yeah.
One of the Hillsboro linemen lined up offsides.
It'll be 5. It'll make a 1st and 15. That does not help the Raiders' cause too much, but it doesn't hurt them terribly. It'll be about the 48-yard line of Hillsboro, 47.
Jeff Savar, 65, comes out, checking in, 72. Sarah Civic, I think I've been saying his name right, I hope.
I defer to you.
Okay, let's go. Blandino at quarterback. Lions defense. Blandino looks to the corner. Intercepted! And I'll tell you, that would have been 6 for number 25.
Mike Donnelly out of the Lions secondary read that one all the way, just cut right in front of the receiver. And Donnelly's down.
Ball. I'm sorry, go ahead, Bob.
That's okay. We got an injured player. It is Mike Donnelly, but go ahead, Mike.
Read very well here by Donnelly. Blandino looks for Flanagan, cutting to the outside. Success all day. Donnelly just cuts inside and picks it off. Hillsboro maybe went to the well one time too many on that play.
Yeah, they've been hitting the out passes.
Donnelly down on the sidelines here. I guess we'll stay with it for a second. Maybe we'll Okay, we will take a break, and we'll be back after this. Don't go away.
If you want a new drug, gifts, cards, or something for the kids, you'll find them at the Hillsboro Pharmacy located on Route 206 at Amwell Road. We've been providing convenient one-stop shopping in a friendly, familiar atmosphere since 1960. The Hillsboro Pharmacy has everything from aspirin to zinc and, of course, prescriptions. Our computer checks drug history and interactions or provides insurance printouts anytime. Pharmacists Jerry, Tom, and Bob are always available to discuss questions about medicines or personal care products from head to toe. The Hillsboro Pharmacy, your good neighbor pharmacy, celebrating 25 years of service in Hillsboro.
Walt's Outdoor Center, Larison Lane, Ringo's, has some outstanding values on lawnmowers by Simplicity and Honda. Whether you need a riding mower or a top-quality push mower, now is the time to see Walt and get to know the man who stands behind everything he sells and services. Waltz also features snowmobiles, chainsaws, Honda generators, and so much more. Take 202 South or 514 West and get a great deal on a new lawnmower at Walt's Outdoor Center, Larison Lane, Ringo's, 782-5654.
We're back to live action. Mike Donnelly, heard on the play after the big interception, goes to the sideline. Appears to be all right, as we have a Lion player jumping off sides. Talking about the cadence, maybe.
Yeah. Let's for the men who are really getting a lot of work out on the field today. Let's run down the list of the officials for today's game. We have Chuck Van Nortwick, who's a referee. Umpire John McFadden. Lineman Dave Race. Line judge Bob Grunderman. Back judge is Bill Poach, and in the box on the timer is Bill Poach. Unrelated, but quite similar names.
That brings up a first down and 15 for the Lions. They are ahead at the score of 26-20. 50 seconds showing in this third period of action here at Hillsboro High School. Interesting game. The pitch goes to Grade. He scoots his way back to the original line of scrimmage, where he's upended by Flanagan. I think Flanagan is triplets. He's been all over the place.
Yeah, Flanagan's had an outstanding game, both sides of the ball, no doubt. Brings up a second down. Lions are looking at 9 yards. Check that, 11 yards. And once again, we saw in that play that Mr. Grade, apparently they like running to the short side of the field as they try to get Grade motoring down the sideline.
13 seconds to go until the end of the third period. Hender's shot long on the count, goes to Grade. Grade picks his hole well, still on his feet. Grade fights for a pickup of about 7 at the end of the third period. And guess what, folks? We're going to take another break as the period comes to an end. When we come back, the Lions will be faced with a third down. Maybe the time is not official.
Hobby experts at Hobby and Game in Somerset have assembled a fantastic selection of remote-controlled vehicles. Experience the thrill of boating, the excitement of racing, the exhilaration of flying, and the high-tech adventure of rocketry. Hobby and Game also has Space Warp, a loop-de-loop roller coaster, as well as a terrific selection of model trains, games, and finishing supplies. So visit Hobby and Game, your place for fun on JFK Boulevard in Somerset and in the Chester Mall, Chester.
As we come back to live action, the band right in front of us really whooping it up as Grade carried the ball. Going for the first down, comes up short, about a yard short. The Lions now faced with a fourth and about a yard as we just start the fourth period of action. Mike Pulaski, Bob Pearson with the action. Raiders down by 6 to the Lions of North, 126-20. Hendershot goes for it. I don't know, it's close on his sneak. It's close. 43, Aguello comes away with the ball, but the official says no.
They're still unpiling and unpiling, waiting for the official. Hillsboro says no. The officials say timeout. We're going to measure this one.
Good defensive effort inside there by the Hillsboro Raiders. Sarah Civic, 72 involved there. 31, Drew Krasiak. Krasiak, I'm still messing a guy's name up after 3 years.
Well,
yes, they held him.
Outstanding job by the Raiders. They've held. It'll be a first down for them. And they definitely have to get something going offensively here. Fourth quarter, they're down by 6. They need a sustained one-play touchdown.
That's true, but that's not the kind of offense we've seen today. We've seen that one big play. It's been a big play day for really for both teams in terms of getting field possession for North Hunterdon. And of course, great running.
It's been a game of spurts. You know, we go along a couple plays, very dull, quiet, boring, and then all of a sudden, boom, you got points up on the board. So.
Well, you know, for Hillsboro, it's been a 70-yard touchdown pass and a 70-yard touchdown pass and
well, I don't think
a 15-yard touchdown pass.
We'll see. Well, I don't think we're going to see Blandino do anything but throw the ball, to be honest with you.
And Pete Tardy's on the sidelines. He's looking long. Ball intended there for number 40, Ken Nixon.
And Mr. Nixon had a great deal of company from North Hunterdon. Boy, I tell you, Dwayne Grade was back there. Motley was back there. Valentino was back there.
As I said on the sidelines, one of the best receivers, Pete Tardy, who has 2 touchdown catches, hurt his hand earlier in the contest, so he must be injured. Hillsboro faced with a 2nd and 10. Flanagan comes wide left. Big day for him, going over to cover him, 33, Tom Matthews. Blandino, Yagello, nowhere, swarmed under.
Yagello trying valiantly to get up to that line of scrimmage, just bounced around like a ping pong ball. 62, check that, 52, Jim Welton in to make the initial hit. And then followed by Corsentino and about 10 other people.
Ball carrier was Huff, 42 instead of 43, Yagello.
Oh, excuse me.
My fault. As the band in front of us really giving us some feedback noise. 3rd down, loss of about 2. 3rd and 13. Looking to the sidelines, has his man. Caught there by number 83, Dennis Turner. Short of the first down, though.
I'll tell you, that's a pass that flirts with danger, Mike. Safety was moving up real quick on that one.
Lions are starting to read that pattern really well. We saw it picked off before.
Donnelly made the pick off earlier in the quarter, or third quarter, rather.
However, what happens when you start seeing the defensive backs reading that out pattern, you cut it towards the middle. Let's see if we see that later on. As we'll have a new punter in for Hillsboro. 42, Scott Huff will handle the punting chores. We'll have a timeout, Hillsboro timeout. Take a look at the Hillsboro Raider cheerleaders. I guess we're going to say I can't even hear myself think, let alone my director. So, Rick, if you're talking to me, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Coach Tom DeMarco down on these sidelines. Talking to the Raiders. Out in the huddle, check that. Look at the Raider band. Great day for football, though.
Oh, outstanding. Sun's out here in the second half. Field's fairly dry, good footing. Everybody's having a great time.
I heard there's a scout from the Giants here looking to see if in case the strike goes another week.
Oh, I don't know. I think it may go another week and maybe another few more weeks, to be honest with you.
Another century, did you say? Okay.
Well, quite frankly, we could do without pro football for a couple weeks. Get some priorities back in your lives, folks. Get off the chair on Sunday. Get out and do something with your family.
Yeah, come over and mow my lawn, will you?
That's what I was going to suggest.
Okay. Scott Huff, the punter for the Hillsboro Raiders, back deep for North Hunterdon is number 46, Ooh. Motley. Bad snap again. He'll be lucky to get it away. They weren't coming. Oh, gets an outstanding kickoff under that kind of pressure. Oh. It's going to take a good Hillsboro bounce. Scott Huff, an outstanding job.
Boy, I'll tell you, That's one young man kept his composure. Not only did he just get it off, he got it down to the 21-yard line. Outstanding play by Scott Huff.
Especially coming in cold to punt. Pete Tardy on the sidelines, the usual punter, did an outstanding job. Lions will have the ball at the 22-yard line, 1st and 10. 9-10 in the 4th period. Score in their favor, 26-20. They are looking for win number 3 in a row. Hendershot inside, not much there. Valentino, the ball carrier, tackled by Garrett Herbst. Pickup of maybe 3.
You know, Mike, while before they get this next playoff, I just want to say what a pleasure it is to be here at the Hillsboro Hilton Swing Hotel. Folks, we've been in a lot of press boxes around the area, but I got to tell you, this is without a doubt the pits.
We'll get more to that as I'll add my 2 cents after this next play. As Hendershot, short pass, has his man, and more. Complete out there to number 26, Valentino, I believe.
I couldn't pass up the comment, Mike. I mean, it's tradition. Every time we're here, we just can't get away without saying a few words about the deplorable condition of the press box here at Hillsboro, and to a degree how unsafe it is, to be quite candid.
Well, you have to climb up this long ladder to get here. I wouldn't mind if they had access through the stands, but I'm not much on climbing up ladders at my age. Okay, Hendershot, 1st down. Pitch to Grade on the corner. Stacked up, gets away, scoots for another 5 yards. How he managed to do it, I don't know. Kept his balance. Good job. Getting back to this press box. Do a little campaigning here. There are some bad ones, but this is really an outdated entrance when you have to climb up the pole. Plus, it sways in the wind.
Well, I understand there's a bond issue up in Hillsboro, and I'll tell you what, this is not an expression of the owners or the management of Cable 8, but
absolutely not.
It wouldn't hurt folks to invest a little money in the facilities here at the high school.
Grade inside again, stacked up. Good defense by the Raiders. Hit there by number 41, Dave Patrick. With help from Sarah Civic. As we see, there we got to take a look at this press box. If I start shaking, folks, you'll see the press box move, jump up and down. Actually, it does. It moves as we're talking.
It do sway, folks, let me tell you.
And I am a taxpayer in Hillsboro, I want to tell you. Okay, 3rd down, about 7. Grade slips to the outside, looks for running room, finds none. Hillsboro defense effectively shutting him down on this run. Of course, they're eating up a lot of the clock, 6:41 and go 4th period. However, if Hillsboro can hold here, they can get very good field position.
Got a flag on this one, Mike. And just one quick issue about this bond issue that's up. It's not only the press box. I understand that they're looking at the track here and the tennis courts at the high school. And obviously, with such a tremendous athletic program that exists here at Hillsboro, it's an injustice not to have some of the best facilities. And let's hope that we see a change in some of those things coming down the road.
And you can vote for Bob Pearson
even though
on line A. Okay. 4th down. The punt back is Flanagan. Hillsboro not sure whether the Lions were going for it or not. We have bodies crashing into each other there on the sidelines. Fritz Hassenthaler runs into 22 of Hillsboro. Chris Neville. And the Raiders will get the ball with 6:22 to go, down by 6. And this drive counts.
Well, I'll tell you, if you're Joe Paulino, and if you said, Joe, you're going to be down so many points in the 4th quarter, you wouldn't want to be in a better position. A touch and a PAT does it. So if you can chew up some time, that's the problem. The Raiders haven't been able to consume any time. It's been the big one-play deal. And then, of course, if you get the ball back to the Lions, we're going to speculate here, then they've got that 3-point ability with Kugelman. So we'll see what happens.
Blandino at quarterback, as he's been all day. Looks, there's the up pattern we talked about. And Flanagan, and I'll tell you what, I thought that might have been a push that time.
Flanagan got knocked off stride. He made the turn up. Had a clear shot at getting underneath the ball, but apparently and Mike's right, it looked like he was bumped a bit and broke stride and couldn't get up to it, and he knew it.
2nd down and 10. Interestingly enough, Bob, you talked about scoring the touch in a PAT. Hillsboro's PAT man is on the sidelines,
Yep.
Pete Tardy. Okay, but that's a long way from here. We might see that halfback pass along this series somewhere. Let's see what goes on. Blandino at quarterback. 2nd and 10. Goes to Scott Huff on the run, looking for the outside room, stays on his feet, picks up maybe 3 yards.
Outstanding pursuit from the Lions secondary. Number 33 who made the tackle. Bear with me 1 second. Tommy Matthews followed that play, and Scott Huff is down on the sideline.
Tough game. Scott Huff still down on these sidelines.
We're going to have a timeout here for player in.
With the band in front of us hooping things up, we can barely hear up here. Linda Migliori, the trainer, taking a look at Scott Huff. Team doctor down there. Scott, a 6 foot, 190-pound senior, contributing to the team throughout his career here at Hillsboro. Most of these injuries that we're probably dealing with, not that I'm second guessing, when you get late in a game like this and you're playing both ways and a lot of special teams, fatigue, you get a lot of cramps. Although it looks like
you're working on the ankle right now, yeah. But he seems to be moving it okay, and they want him to get up and put some weight on it. Nope, check that.
It'll bring up a 3rd down and about 7 for the Hillsboro Raiders going in for Hillsboro. Jeff Savar, 65. Scott comes to the sidelines. Hopefully nothing serious for him. Funny how you go through a whole game and this series could boil down to this one play.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. It's 3rd and but it's a long 8. And I'm sure that as much as we know and everyone else in this stadium knows, Blandino's going to be throwing.
Dave Patrick, 41. Blandino looks, eludes one, has his man, and a first down. Great catch, great job.
Little pump fake to Gary Agello on the left to check that, the right flat, and he fires it over the middle of number 81 for the Raiders.
Keith Golden.
Keith Golden makes the reception, looks it all the way in, picks up a critical first down with 5:34 to go.
That was a great job of Blandino keeping his composure. He had a North defender right in his face, putting the pressure on him.
And the Raiders take a timeout, Mike, with 5:34 to go, as we pointed out.
Okay, and we'll take a timeout too, and be right back.
Flemington Mall on Route 202 has it all in 36 exciting stores. Stop in at Rafters and find discounted prices on name brand clothes. Health Harvest is a full nutrition center with 2 nutritionists on staff. Everything is a variety store and changes its inventory every 30 days. Small's Formal Wear has the Christian Dior, Dynasty, and Miami Vice collection. Jamesway has everything from pots to patio furniture, all under one roof, all at great prices. Visit the Flemington Mall, just north of the Flemington Circle, because we have it all.
Back again here at Hillsboro High School. The scoreboard tells it all. 26 North Hunterdon Lions, 20 for the Hillsboro Raiders, as we take a look at the Hillsboro head coach, Joe Polino, talking to his quarterback, Dominic Blandino.
The Hillsboro band director definitely has our number, Mike.
Hillsboro with a first down at the 45-yard line. They need 6 to tie. Blandino looking, has the pass knocked away. Good defensive effort by 66 Mike Longcore. There you saw 52 Jimmy Wilton.
Wilton's had an outstanding game for the Lions. Just a powerful, powerful defensive player. Really can dominate on defense.
As we look at the Hillsboro huddle, they'll be faced with a 2nd down and 10 from the 45-yard line. They need a player as Sarah Civic comes to the sidelines and nobody's coming out. Say, guys, we need a tackle. Let's get somebody out here. Jeff Savar, 65, scoots in, and they got to get going. They're going to be hit with a delay of game. This better be a quick play. Lions on defense. There it is. That's going to make it second down and 15.
Yeah, Raiders are not helping themselves with these nickel dime penalties that they're getting. And that's just a little confusion on the sidelines. Play was late getting in. They've just got to get a little more organized. They can't afford these 5-yarders.
And now we can start talking in normal tones again as the band dies down. You have a tendency to yell, so probably been knocking these socks off our audio person down in the truck.
Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to that old thing about the coaches didn't like the band playing when your team was on offense? Remember that business?
Truly. Changing trend. That is the North Hunterdon band whoops it up now.
Now they're on defense. That makes sense.
That's right. Blandino looking. Has time. Oh! Almost picked off by 25 Donnelly, and he would have been gone. He would have been history.
That would have been a second one for Donnelly. He's got that one down pretty good. He almost. It was the fact that it would have been overthrown anyway. Had it been a little lower, Donnelly was in for 6. And this question of who was going to do the big play at the end would have been moot.
Hillsboro really up against it now.
Well, they've had some big plays, and it's third in the same 15 we talked about before. They've got 2 downs to get it because I'm sure Paulino's not going to kick this one away.
Now at 5:27. Looking, time, throws it up for Flanagan. He has his man. Good catch by Flanagan.
Outstanding. But there's a flag on the play.
Either a hold or a late hit on the quarterback from the position of the flag.
It looks like it's going to go against the Raiders.
Oh, tough break. Great catch by John Flanagan.
It was a tough break. It's got to be holding, and that's what the call is. Now, if that's another 10 on top of that, so now we're going to be looking at 3rd and 25. Obviously, George Greiner is not going to decline the penalty. There's been
not unless he's a madman. All right, Raiders. We talked about them being up against the last play. Whoa.
Yeah, they seem to keep burying themselves deeper and deeper.
Well, in justification of that, the Hillsboro lineman, much smaller lineman, it's late in the game. You got to protect your quarterback. The defense knows he's passing. They're teeing off the lineman, and it happens.
Well, we've said all game long they've done an outstanding job, but you're right, Mike. They got to be getting tired right about now. And they've been throwing every down, so, I mean, it's no surprise.
Blandino faced with a 3rd and an entire continent. Looks for Flanagan again. He has him! Flanagan gets back to the original.
He gets back to the original line of scrimmage. It's about, it's going to be 4th and about 8 yards to go for the first down. Incredible play. Absolutely the same pattern.
John Flanagan has done some job. As we look at it on replay, Blandino arches one. Flanagan might have picked up a few more yards. He had to come back a little for the ball caught on his knee.
4th down and 8.
Well, once again, in the ongoing saga of important downs, this is a critical one.
4:30 to go. 26 for the Lions, 20 for the Raiders. 4th and about 10. Blandino looks. Has his man. Great catch.
Flanagan again on an outstanding catch. And boy, I'll tell you what, talk about the cardiac kids. Hillsboro definitely keeping everybody on the edge of the seats here in the stadium today. David A. Noonan Field. And opportunity still continues to knock for the Raiders.
John Flanagan earning his pay here along with Dominic Blandino, I'll tell you.
Well, they've been moving Flanagan to the left, Flanagan to the right. They keep throwing to him, and he keeps coming up with the big catch.
First down, Raiders on the move, 4:02. Ball spotted at about the 36. Going again, and that's no interference that time. Oh, okay, tough call.
Official right on top of it, so Mike, he saw the play all the way. Of course, when you're behind and you're driving, you want the flag on every play in your favor, and the Hillsboro fans are no different.
Okay, brings up a second down.
Patrick coming in with the play, and 72 for the Raiders.
Both going for the ball. Good defense. It's always good defense. If there's no flag, it's good defense.
Great defensive play. Great defense.
Okay, here we go. Good look at Blandino, the senior quarterback. Done an outstanding job passing this game as Patrick in motion. Blandino rolls, has time, flags down, has Yagello for a first down and more, but a flag dropped in the backfield. It's got to be another hold.
I think it's motion. I think.
We have a flag on the play in the backfield.
Well, it's difficult to say. I'm not even going to guess.
Clearing indications is the penalty will be against the Raiders.
Hillsboro really suffering through a series of tough penalties here.
Well, they're being their own worst enemy right now. I mean, that was another completed pass to Yagello. Would have got him inside the 20-yard line, and they get hit with another penalty. And it is another penalty against the Raiders.
Second down, 15 for the Raiders. 3:42 and counting. 26-20.
15 yards for the Raiders.
Let's see what they can pull out of the hat here. Joe Polino's gone to about everything in the book, I think.
Well, he certainly chewed up a lot of clock, that's for sure.
George Griner on the other side done just about the same thing. Done an outstanding job with this Lion team. Blandino looks. Flanagan again. He's on his feet. He's in bounds. He's going to go in for the touchdown.
Outstanding play by John Flanagan. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I know who's going to get the game ball when this one's over.
John Flanagan. What a job. He and Blandino. Raiders tie it up 26-26.
Here we go on the replay. Is Blandino with the quarterback position. Drops straight back. He looks at Flanagan all the way. Flanagan makes a tremendous move to stay in. Great camera work, by the way, there. Stay in bounds and make the TD. Outstanding camera work by our Cable 8 crew. I think Billy Stout had the picture. Nice job, Billy.
Tardy's in for the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. Hillsboro takes the lead with 3:14 to go. 27-26. However, lots of time on the clock for North Hunterdon. Lots of bullets in the offensive gun of George Griner, Dwayne Gray, Donnelly. However, we haven't seen much passing. Let's hear. They don't really need it if they can eat up that time, but let's see how it's going to go. Interesting scenario being said here.
Well, I think what's going to happen is Joe Paulino is going to take away as much of that running game as he can now and force Hendershot to throw the ball. You know darn well that Dwayne Gray can pick up some yardage, although there's been a couple times in the second half now where they haven't really moved the ball that well on the ground. So let's wait and see. First of all, they haven't seen much of the ball in the fourth quarter, to be quite honest with you. And, of course, the other threat is going to be Joey Kugelman. If he gets inside,
that's true.
Anywhere inside the 30, close to the 30, Kugelman's got the ability to put it through the uprights, and that's all they need is 3 points at this stage.
I have a gut feeling it may come down to that last kick.
There could be an exciting conclusion here, folks, so don't drift away. 3:14 to go. Raiders on top by 1 point, 27-26, and an outstanding day by Blandino, quarterback of the Raiders. Not just to single him out, but he's been on target. Flanagan's come through in the second half with Tardy out. And the line for Hillsboro has just done an outstanding blocking job to give Blandino protection.
Blandino's 6th touchdown pass of the season, and he's the leader in the conference. Great kick. Deep, deep kick at the goal line for Donnelly, 25. He has room. Stopped at the 20. They'll have to go the distance of 80.
Outstanding kick, and it was Tardy that did the kicking, was it not?
It was.
He's back in the game after being out for a while with some injuries. Got the PAT, the very critical PAT for the Raiders. And you're right, they got a lot of carpet to cover, 80 yards, and they've only got 3:03 to get anywhere close.
And that clock's ticking. Under 3 minutes to play. Lions down by 1, 27-26 Raiders. Hendershot looking across the middle, has his man complete to number 85. I'll let you say that last name.
Okay, we're going to try this one more time. Scott Pahotchkis, I guess, and that's the best we can do. Don't shoot us, folks. 6'2", 205 tight end, made a great catch. But it is still first down. It is 10 yards to go. There is 2:43, 2:41. The clock is running. And time is of the essence for the Lions of North Hunterdon.
Another barn burner in the Mid-State brought to you by Channel 8. Hendershot to pass. Sidearms it. And he goes down. Good pressure from the Hillsboro Raiders by 72, Sarah Civic. Also, number 41, Dave Patrick. That pass way off the mark. Hendershot, a good quarter, but he's a bit of a sidearm thrower.
Yeah, he threw that one sidearm. In fact, he had one knocked down earlier in the game because of that fact when Patrick smacked one down on him. But it does stop the clock, and they need to get the clock stopped to get things settled down a little bit.
2:26, 2nd and 10, Lions. Grade in the backfield along with 26, Valentino. Hendershot looking for the short pass. They go to the screen. They have their man. It's Donnelly. He's nailed at the line of scrimmage.
They've thrown that pass play several times, Mike. It's just a wide out to take the pitch, take the pass with one blocker downfield. Hillsboro beginning to pick up on that one quite readily, although it's a great setup play. Got to watch what happens on this next play.
We're down to 2 minutes. 3rd down, about 7. Boy, I'll tell you, this one's going down. I usually sit and watch these games. I think I'll stand for this finish. Hendershot rolls, looks, has the pass knocked away. 64, Jeff Adair, along with pressure from 41, Patrick, brings up 4th down. We've had a great game, and it goes down to the final play for the Lions here. 4th down and 7. Ball at the 30-yard line, a shade over, about the 33. 144.
We saw Dwayne Gray try that halfback option pass. Raiders should be looking for anything right now in around a 10-yard zone.
Hendershot looks pressured, almost knocked away, picked off by number 42, Scott Huff. With 1:35, we are looking upset time.
Yeah, I'll tell you right, the Raiders definitely came on in this second half. Outstanding job. Really controlled the ball, played excellent defense, and that was just the epitome of it with that interception right now. And of course, right now, all the Raiders have to do is take a few snaps, not get too fancy, and they've taken away a big, big win and a big surprise for the North Hunterdon Lions, ranked 13th in the state by the North Star Ledger.
This has been an outstanding game, an outstanding comeback for Hillsboro, but a good game, kind of a strange game, a game where breaks have gone different ways. Anybody could have won it. It's been a very good contest. 1:08 to go, 4th period, 27 for the Raiders, 26 for the Lions. Lions came in 2-0. Hillsboro came in 1-1.
Have a delay of game, and it was a good delay of game. They took up a lot of clock. 1:08. They'll take a snap, probably take another delay of game too. Well, it certainly changes the picture in the as far as standings in Group 4, which is what North Hunterdon is. They're going to need all the power points they can at the end of the year. Boy, we're talking about power points, and it's only the 3rd game of the season. I can't believe it.
It's been a very tough season. Handoff inside to Ugello. Clock will tick under a minute. It'll be a 2nd down and about 10. North Hunterdon will call a timeout.
And well, they should.
Take a quick break with 57 seconds showing. Don't go away. It's not over yet, folks. And I'll tell you what, it's been an exciting game. We've seen just about everything there is to see except the onside kick, like you mentioned, Bob.
Well, the graphic on the screen right now tells the whole story, Mike. It's a 1-point game in favor of Hillsboro. 57 seconds left to go. Hillsboro doing nothing more than taking snaps and killing clock right now. North Hunterdon obviously looking for the opportunity to strip the ball.
Blandino inside. Ugello hold on to the ball. He gets swarmed under, people trying to get that ball away as we're down to 49 seconds.
And another timeout by the Lions. We're going to see a lot of that. They've probably got one more left after this.
Tough game to characterize. A game of breaks and big plays.
Well, clearly in the second half, Hillsboro has been the opportunist. You go back to the free kick that North Hunterdon basically just didn't know how to deal with. And
that was almost the turning point of the game.
It was. There was no doubt about it. Then they go in, Raiders go in and score. Then they have an opportunity to score again. Hunterdon intercepts. North Hunterdon can't take advantage.
North 100, one of the 3 teams in the Delaware division coming into this game undefeated.
Yep.
Piscataway and Franklin undefeated. It's really turning into an interesting contest in the Raritan division. Somerville losing to Franklin. Hillsboro will notch their second victory here.
Well, the interesting thing about it is it's the Mid-State Conference football, Mike. And, you know, you talk to coaches like Lenny Rivers and Joe Paulino, and they tell you on any given Saturday, and you know, it's that old cliche, but it's so true in this conference, anybody can take anybody.
Handoff inside. That's Yagello again, 43. Clock stuck at 42.
Well, North took their last timeout, and I'm sure it's the last timeout. They've
Quick
called
timeout. Okay, we're back. We had some technical problems that have been sorted out down in the truck by our able director.
Coming
Rick
off the field.
Tramontana has carried off the field. Go ahead, Bob.
Number 65 for the Raiders, Jeff Savara, coming off the field. Don't know the extent of the injury. Hope it's not too serious and that Jeff's back playing for the Raiders next week. But back to live action, and there's only 42 seconds of the left playing time.
Fourth down.
Oh. We're going to get another flag, and it's obviously going to be somebody offsides. It certainly wasn't a delay of game. And boy, this last
42 seconds is taking forever. Yeah,
it's taking forever. Offsides the Raiders. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. And that's kind of interesting, Mike, because it was 4th down. No time off the clock. And what Hillsboro does not want to do is turn possession of this ball.
Truly, they want to keep it.
Because you can guarantee that Mr. Hendershot's going to come out throwing as far as he can, if in fact they get a chance to get possession.
Well, this has been, for Hillsboro anyway, a game of important downs. It's been one after another, and the game is far from over. Now we have another delay of time, an official timeout. What? I'm not sure what we have here.
I think somebody's asking for an explanation. Joe Paulino's asking for an explanation on that last flag. 6 seconds. They want 6 seconds off the clock.
6 seconds off the clock.
Oh, back on the clock.
On the clock? As the official signals up here. They tacked on 6 seconds. I'll let you explain
that because Joe Paulino was the one asking about the clock.
We'll put it 6 seconds on up here.
Okay, the officials are signaling they want 6 seconds on the clock. It can't be done, so there's going to be a 6-second delay before the clock goes at the start of the play. Okay, now we're going to get it going.
Now we have seen every potential circumstance in high school football.
Holy moly.
My, oh my.
I don't know what that was all about, but whatever.
Late night with Pulowski.
This 42 seconds has been like, I think I've lived my lifetime in this 42 seconds.
I'll keep an eye on the timekeeper just to make sure it's 6. 1001.
Blandino looking, has his man. Oh, and if that's not interference, I don't know what is, and it is.
It's offensive interference, though. That's the problem. It's going to go against the Raiders. It is against Hillsboro.
Against Pete Tardy.
And we have 41 seconds left on the clock. Everyone's standing around.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, it is. And oh my, was that an ill-timed penalty?
This is turned. Now you see Rocky Forte on the sidelines, the athletic director, and Joe D'Alessandro, who is a teacher here in Hillsboro, who is the new basketball coach over at Bridgewater East.
Joe must have some slippery shoes on because his legs are kind of going in. No. North has the ball, and we're going to figure out where in about 2 seconds. It is a 1st down.
And since, I'm sorry, Bob, but since we started this conversation, we started at 42 and it's at 41.
Room service is bringing dinner up here any moment.
I never said so much in 1 second in my life.
Well, as long as we didn't get into your old football stories to kill time.
Oh, shit. I'll tell you what, and they're going to get the ball at the 50-yard line.
Now, folks, I got to tell you, we talked about Joe Kugelman and his leg. In theory, North has to move the ball at least 20 yards and give Kugelman a shot.
It's been a tough game to officiate, I'll tell you.
It's going to be a bear if it comes down to Kugelman kicking this thing with 1 second to go and winning the game. I'll tell you that much.
35 seconds showing. Hendershot at quarterback. He rolls. He throws one up. Good defensive play to break up the pass with 27 seconds going.
No doubt about it. Outstanding defense by the Hillsboro Raiders. We'll pick some numbers up as they come back. John Flanagan, 24 in to break it up. 40 was Kenny Nixon in on a play, and 42. Help me, Michael. Help me, Michael. Help me, Michael.
42 is Scott Huff.
He's back in the game, and that's good to see. Scott out with what appeared to be an ankle injury early in the quarter.
Ball intended for 33, Tom Matthews. Second down, 10, 27 seconds showing. 1 point difference between these two teams, 50 yards to go to break it open for the Lions. Victory on the line for them. Sidearm pass and out of bounds, good hit.
And a smart play. 22
Matthews.
on the hit was Chris Neville.
Matthews, the receiver.
Right, but it does stop the clock. Second down and about 5 yards to go. 22 seconds going. They've got to move it down about another 15 yards to give Kugelman a shot for the field goal.
Well, it's never over. And they say the fat lady's saying, I'll say the fat man here, but I'm not going to sing, I'll tell you.
Well, I thought you were going to give me that old Yogi Bear. It's never over till it's over.
Yogi Bear? Okay.
And it's not over yet.
Hendershot. He'll be sacked. Patrick.
No timeouts. No timeouts. They have no timeouts left.
13 seconds going, and I'll tell you, that was an important sack. That might have moved Kugelman out of range. 5. It's going. Hendershot. One play. Pass out of bounds. No time left. That's it. The Hillsboro Raiders